It's Misconduct talk. Yeah, we keeping it smooth. Your favorite paralegal got the legal groove. From the stars in the courtroom to your cousin's case, we breaking it all down. No rush, just pace. Hey, it's your girl, your favorite paralegal, aka Cassandra Lynn, and welcome to Legal Doc Talk 24/7. I know it seems like this is a Blueface marathon, but I kid you guys, it is not. I am just trying to catch up on these cases and just happen to find things like these lawsuits. And I'm like, oh my gosh. So if you think that, please don't think that. I do have other content that is coming out. But while we are on the Blueface subject, he has been sued yet again. Another Las Vegas individual has sued Blueface and a nightclub. Let's tap on into it. So I have blocked or hidden her name. If you do see her name appear, it is going to be just her first name only. She has filed a motion to get this case sealed. Don't know when that motion will be granted, but in the event that it is, you guys won't have all of this information that I'm giving you. But her name is going to remain sealed unless it is her first name that I just are is going to reveal. So this case was filed, or the complaint was filed on May 27, 2025 in a Las Vegas Clark County court, and it is for intentional misconduct. The case is currently still open. The plaintiff does not have an attorney. She is filing this suit on her own, just as the other case that I reported on. The defendants is Blueface, the nightclub, and their management. And as I stated in the other case, where you're dealing with a self-represented client, they don't have the litigation knowledge. Some do. Some are way smarter than me, way advanced than me in the legal field, and I give props to them. But when you're dealing with an individual who has no knowledge, never been in a lawsuit before, never sued anybody, then it's going to be a little bit challenging. But I do award her and applaud her for her getting this far. But Blueface, the management, and the nightclub are defendants in this lawsuit. Uh, when she filed the complaint, she also filed the motion to seal and redact the records. So let me see. Also, she just wanted to seal her address, which is okay. All right, so I can show her name and everything, but I just don't want anybody harassing her. So she only filed a motion to seal her address, in which there's nothing really that has her address on there. And I know that is to protect her so nobody will come looking for her. She did file an affidavit to waive the court costs. She issued summons for all of the defendants. Now, I do see here that on 9/21 there was a proof of service. I did click on it and happened to see that Blueface was served in prison on August 28th. Now, as of now, there has not been an update on this court docket showing that Blueface responded to the lawsuit. You only have between 20 to 30 days to respond to a lawsuit. If you don't respond, then the plaintiff can file for a default judgment. As of right now, Jonathan Jamal Porter does not need any more judgments at all, at all, at all. He's already up to darn near $20 million in judgment. And for the record, and I'm going to get back to this, but I see a lot of people in the comments saying, well, he can file for bankruptcy. He can file. Yes, anybody can file for bankruptcy. However, when you file that petition, you also have to file schedules. There are like, let me see, I can't give you a number, but I know from schedule A all the way to possibly schedule M, however many whatever number M is on the alphabet, that's how many schedules there are, and I'm probably there's probably more than that. So once you have submitted the schedules to the court, it is up to the court to say yay or nay. yes, we are going to discharge this debt. But also, you can't just file bankruptcy just to get out of paying somebody. Everybody has the wrong idea when it comes to filing for bankruptcy. So, yes, you can file bankruptcy. However, it is up to the court to determine whether your debt is dischargeable. And that is based off of the documentation that you submit to the court. All right, just a little side note. Now, going back to this. So, Jonathan has been served as of August 28th. However, he has not filed a response to this lawsuit. Therefore, the plaintiff can file a motion to enter a default judgment. All right. Now, on the 23rd of September, an order granting an extension to serve the nightclub and its owners were granted. So they gave her an additional 60 days to get the nightclub served. But as of right now, Jonathan has been served. The other two defendants have not been served. She has 60 days to get them served. Now, there's not going to be any movement on this case. One, unless Blueface decides to file a response or the nightclub gets served and they file their answer, and then they can move on to the next steps, which more than likely will be arbitration. But they do have a status conference on, what is that, January 7th, 2026 at, now this time is so wrong. I don't think it's supposed to be 3:05 a.m., but they will have a status check. So they're going to come back on January 7th and say, okay, have you served the other individuals or defendants in this case? Has Jonathan answered? What's going on? And then at that time, she got to let them know. But it's hard when you are a self-representative client. Let's tap on into uh, the complaint that she filed. It's not your normal complaint that we normally file as legal professionals. This is something that she drafted on her own. And with, Chat GPT and other AI software out there, you can do a decent, good, petition or a complaint for damages. However, don't trust it, because I've had clients that come to me and say, hey, can you file this? And I'm looking at this. I'm like, and you get this from Chat GPT? Now, I can't tell you, because that would be giving legal advice. But do you want me to prepare it for you? Just a yay or a nay, and I'll do that. So she did pretty good in this, but it's very disturbing what she says in this complaint. So, with that being said, I just probably need to just go ahead and put my trigger warning on here. So, her address is sealed. I went ahead and redacted her phone number and email. On May 28, 2023, this is the day before the lady at the Palms Hotel or Casino had the incident with the cell phone. And I reported on that already. So, just the day before, Blueface was at this nightclub, and it says that she was physically assaulted at the nightclub by Blueface while incoherent and possibly rugged. The assault was recorded and posted online, widely circulated on social media, and caused severe emotional and physical trauma. During the assault, defendant Blueface was seen throwing up gang signs, contributing to plaintiff's fear of retaliation. Despite multiple requests from her friends, the security failed to intervene. Plaintiff experienced public humiliation, attempted unaliving, was hospitalized, and later diagnosed with pericarditis. She was placed on disability leave, discriminated against upon returning to work, and untimely and ultimately terminated, resulting in a significant financial and emotional damages. Her causes of action, she has 6 counts: assault and battery, intentional infliction of emotional distress, negligent security premises liability, invasion of privacy, public disclosure of private facts, defamation, disability discrimination, and retaliation. She is respectfully requesting the court to enter in a judgment in favor and award her between $3 to $5 million in total damages, including but not limited to economic, non-economic, and punitive damages, injunctive relief, and attorney fees and further relief as deemed appropriate. She is requesting for a jury trial. So, in the event arbitration doesn't work, mediation doesn't work, she is looking to take this case to trial. The sad part about this is her attempt to unalive herself. No person should get to that point where this comes to mind as a solution to forget about this or whatever the case may be. It's very sad that this happened. Um, the only thing I can say is one, I'm going to keep her in my prayers. That's all I can do. But two, she might need to get a lawyer because there are a lot of pieces that is going to come with this, especially if you're asking for between $3 and $5 million. You have to be able to prove your damages, your medical bills. So just like in the previous case that I just spoke about, you have to be able to prove up your damages to that. So your medical bills can be $100,000 and you have to prove that you are indeed entitled to that $100,000. And then the additional, I don't think that you can meet that between $3 to $5 million threshold. So you have to be able to prove that your case is worth $3 to $5 million. You have to show, just like with the Jacqueline Martinez case, a lot of people didn't think that she was going to get a judgment at all. For me, doing this for a while, it may not be a lot. It's not going to be a payday or a payment where you can go buy you a private island, but it's something to compensate you for what you did go through. And for this individual, like I said, she did good. I'm not sure what system she used, but her complaint was fairly decent. Um, One thing she's probably going to have to do is kind of go over and be in more detail. She's probably going to have to amend this and be more detailed as to each count because all of these counts have to add up. She has to prove all of this in order to get to that $3 to $5 million in total damages. So it's very unfortunate for this individual. I'm definitely going to keep her in my prayers. Nobody should have to ever resort to, wanting to end their own life because of a situation that happened. But this just goes to show what was going on around that time that Blueface was out. So you have May 28th, 2023. This happened at the nightclub only to turn around and go to the casino and that incident happened. This is the year where everybody is suing everybody and people want their coins. And if you don't have their coins, then they're going to make it very hard for you not to even have coins because the coins that you are going to get is going to go towards these judgments. And Blueface is probably the living proof of this. This man is $20 million in debt. Yes, he is in debt because he has judgments against him. And if it was on his credit report, he would not have anything. And the nightclub, the other gentlemen's club, already put in a writ of execution. His house can be put up as a lien to pay off that debt. If y'all don't know, I'm going to report on Nicki Minaj's because just like her husband had the judgment is $500,000. Nikki's home is $20 million. They have put in an application to sell that house in order to satisfy the $500,000 lien or judgment. To sell a 20 million home for a $500,000 judgment. So don't think that Blueface's house cannot be for sale. I see a lot of people out there saying the house is in Wax name. The house is not in Wax name. The house is in Jonathan Jamal Porter's name. There's a process. You just can't say, "Oh, I'm going to go ahead and put it in that person's name." It does not work like that. When you get a mortgage and you sign for that, your name is placed in a deed that is filed in the county. Okay? If for some reason he wanted to transfer that property to somebody else, it's not just saying, "Oh, whack, let's go and just put it in your name." Because then you assume responsibility for that mortgage. Because as of right now, if he's making monthly payments on there, they have a contract between Jonathan Jamal Porter and whoever the mortgage servicer is. I used to do, before I started doing personal injury and family law, I used to do foreclosures. So I had to go into property records and look in deeds and stuff like that. Right now, I work for a real estate attorney. So a lot of stuff that I started doing years ago is coming back to me, and so I'm doing it for him. But without being said, he can't just be like, "Oh, whack, let's just go put it," like he signs a paper, "I sign this over the way." It does not work like that. The property is in Blueface's name. So at any time, any of these people, the Gentlemen's Club, Jackie Martinez, they can say, she's already going after his royalties. She going after checks. So if that club says, "Hey, we need to put in an application for him to sell this house so he can pay for this judgment, so he can satisfy this judgment," they have the right to do so. It's just up to the court whether they say yay or nay. But y'all let me know what y'all think about this in the comments below. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Until then, you all be blessed and I'm out. Bye.